Now, listen, you guys, at this point, honestly, I don't know if there's anything that would happen in the music industry and people, will not bring Nicki Minaj into the conversation. Beyonce brings out her children to dance, and all of a sudden, the conversation is about Nicki Minaj. Doja Cat drops a song and all of a sudden it is about Nicki Minaj. This one does this one. Oh my God, it is Nicki Minaj. At this point, that woman has got absolutely thick skin. We're going to be discussing about all of that. And we're also going to be talking about Rasheeda. Rasheeda is letting us know that, well, despite her not being a mainstream artist, she is out there earning a lot of money from her hit records. And Faith Evans is coming through with some advice to women in as far as the music industry is concerned. And some people feel like, well, she is shading Lil Kim. And what the hell was previewed. And when I tell you that what a mess it was, I'm not exaggerating. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tea Plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about this entire situation with Matlamini. I'm talking about Doja Cat. Now, you guys, people are alleging that, well, Doja Cat is out there coming at Nicki Minaj. And I'm just like, is there no other marketing strategy, Doja Cat? Like, can you not do something different? Has it always to be this ambiguous thing, rage baiting lines where you're being subliminal? Like, what is this? And honestly, it's kind of off-putting. As somebody who does listen to Doja Cat's music, this is so off-putting. What are you doing? If you are not cool with someone, then say it with your chest. Why the throwing rocks and hiding hands? I don't like this. It's messy. It's not necessary. But anyway, this is what she said in a song. She said, well, you're fighting to stay here. You're probably ODing. Ain't finna pop for no reason. I don't throw shots. I run legions. I've been going over the top where no queen been. Pass away, no regrets. This is my season. And yeah, I don't know, you guys, honestly, it's lame, okay? It's tired. Like, how many times are you going to redo the same thing over and over again? You throw this shots, you act like you don't know what it is about. You go on stage, you shout, I love you, Nicki Minaj. And she knows exactly what's going to happen. That's the thing. She can come out here and argue and say that, oh, well, I never said this, or I never said this applies to this person and stuff like that. But you definitely knew what you were doing when you were putting those lines in there. You were fishing for engagement, which is now what you're getting. And I've been seeing some of the babs that have been listening to Doja Cat now getting tired and getting fed up of this entire thing. Of course, there are those that are still saying, well, Doja Cat says she loves Nicki Minaj, but yeah, people are beginning to get annoyed by this entire situation. But anyway, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this. And I love the fact that Nicki Minaj is now paying everybody dust. I hope his was a lesson to her, because that song was mid, okay, at its best. It was definitely mid until, of course, she decided to give Megan free promo. So I love that in this season of her life, she's minding her business and letting these girls make fools out of themselves. Now, some people are also alleging that Doja Cat was shading Doechii and all of these things. And I'm just like, Matlamini, if you're going to be coming for people, do it with your chest. Do it with your chest. You cannot be out there saying Doechii is the queen, Nicki Minaj is this, and then you turn around and you're shading these people. Like, what snake games are these? And there are also those that are convincing themselves that Doja Cat is way better than Nicki Minaj. And that whole thing that I've reached where no queen have been. What has she done? The streams that are polarized. Is that what she's bragging about? That's why the shade is just dumb to me, because you haven't done anything that Nicki hasn't done before. And if it's about streaming, we all know how that works. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Still talking about Nicki Minaj. At this point, this woman, she can never catch a break. Now, you guys do know that, well, Blue Ivy and Rumi have been trending on the internet, with people appreciating their performances at their mother's tour. And it seems like some of the Beehive decided to be messy, and I dislike this. I don't like this at all. Somebody posted and said blue, and another person came and said Jay-Z's daughter winning a Grammy, performing a sold-out stadium before Nicki Minaj is iconic. He got the last laugh. And if this isn't weird to you, I don't know what is. Why are you bringing children in this entire adult conversation? What are you trying to set up these kids to get Drake? Like, what are you doing? Now, it's not enough to compare Beyonce, who is not a rapper, to Nicki Minaj. Now you're going further to compare Jay-Z's children to Nicki Minaj so that the fans can do what? And then the babs will start coming for these children and you guys will turn around and cry foul. I don't like this, honestly. Don't set these children up for this. It's not right, okay? I don't know what type of a fan is that would want to bring children. Like, if they were your own children, would you like them to be brought up in adult conversations and being pit against people of God? Because let's be honest, Nicki has got a multitude of fans and followers. And everybody knows the babs don't play. So what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? The internet is really becoming something else. And when it comes to children, I really don't like it at all. Stop putting them in compromising positions where bad can be spoken about them. Because I was seeing people talking about Rumi in a way that I don't appreciate at all. I don't like this. It's just so sad. All for what? All for trying to say Nicki is not supposed to stand up for herself against Jay-Z. Now we're bringing in the children. Wow. Pathetic. Anyway, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Bongo 2. Reports are saying that Bongo 2's song Whenever is challenging for a Billboard 100 debut. And I'm like, this is certainly a new new update. They're saying it's challenging for a debut on the Billboard 100. And I'm just thinking, what happened to Regina George? Like, I don't get it. Is this not the person that ended Nicki Minaj? Like, what's going on with the whole video? Now, I understand why she was probably about to break down into tears, because I'm sure right now, Cousin Sloth, if she does release a song, it will not be a question of whether she will debut in the Billboard 100, but it will actually be a question about at what position. The fact that they are saying that challenging for a debut on the Billboard Hot 100 is amazing. And this is why I love the fact that Nicki Minaj is paying these females dust. Gone were the days when you would gather sympathy on the back of another woman, on the back of a Chucky meme. People would go and stream her music to spite Nicki because Nicki would have posted a meme of Chucky or Michael Jackson, and they would be like, what a vile human being. Megan is protected. Oh my God, she's so sad. I'm glad that Nicki is really discovering the power that she has and she's using it effectively. I love this for her. So let me know, you guys, in the comment section what you think about this new line of challenging for a debut on the Billboard Hot 100. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about what the hell. So it seems like Rob 49 decided to preview the song, the remix with Justin and Lottery Ticket. And I'm just looking at that song like, what is this? Lottery, what was that? But that being said, honestly, I do not like Lottery Ticket, but I don't think that his was the dumbest part. I don't understand what Justin was doing on that song. The singing part, I don't think it was necessary at all. What is this? And this is the song that everybody wanted Nicki Minaj to be on. What the hell, y'all? What the hell? Such a dumb thing. Oh my God. I don't know, you guys. I expected better, but I guess it is what it is. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about Lil' Kim. People are accusing Faith Evans of shading Lil' Kim. In an interview, she came out here and she was talking about, oh my God, as a female artist, you do not have to sell, the S word and stuff like that, just so people can recognize you and, all of those things. So it seems like, people are saying that, well, this seems like she is talking about Lil' Kim because she is well known for doing all of that. And some people are saying she is, Faith Evans is hypocritical because people are saying that behind closed doors, she was also doing the same thing. She was taking off clothes allegedly just to get certain deals. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this entire situation. Do you think that indeed Faith Evans is being hypocritical, or do you think that his advice is actually sound? So yeah, let me insert what she had to say, and then I'll catch you guys after that.
You know, I also, and I think I'm lucky, because when people ask me questions about like the, you know, a female in the male industry and how was that and was it rough, I think that can play a lot into things, a lot more so in this current climate. It's, you know, a lot of, you know, it's about element of things a lot more. Maybe a lot of females feel like that's what they need to sell.
Okay.
I've never really had that, you know.
So that's important.
That. Yeah.
That's important, Faith. So knowing the climate of the industry and seeing what is required to sell, you being an artist still current and not having to do half of those things, like, what would you tell that little girl that thinks that this is the only way, or this is the way to becoming successful?
Well, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
I definitely don't believe that. I believe that, you know, if I still feel like real talent shines. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a lot easier to be heard. The window is way, way open with all of these different ways to be heard and platforms. But I think if you're really true to your core, if that's what your beliefs are, that you know you don't have to do that, then you got to stick with that.
Yeah.
And be rewarded later on for it. I mean, and it may, as tempting as it may be, or, you know, but I think it's okay to turn things down or negotiate things, should I say.
Sure.
Because, you know, someone may have an opportunity and look at it as if this is probably never going to happen for me again. I gotta, you know, but sometimes you get more. You might be respected even more if you question things, or especially if you already have your certain standards, you gotta stick with that, you know, and live in that and let that extend in every aspect, even in that type of situation, and you'll be respected for it.
Stand 10 toes,
you know, and you'll be respected. I've never ever felt that way. And don't get me wrong, that wasn't how I came into the industry. I wasn't, you know, I was probably dressed more like a executive than a wannabe artist, you know what I mean? So, you know, those things that came together, even with just having a certain fashion sense or a certain style presentation. But, you know, that's not how it happened for me. Right. But again, it may not happen for everyone like that, but regardless to all of that, I still never felt that I had to, or I always knew I'm the person that if that ever came to me in that way, it's hell nah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
Like, nah, I ain't about that life.
And that's the cool thing, I guess, about that. Again, that era, Peel was a little different. Mm-hmm. It was viewed a little different. It didn't have to include most of the stuff that's going on with the ladies of today. You trust me, the videos that you came out with and that you did back then was still considered.
But even look at my photos just to go. Yeah. It was all just right here. Well, you didn't even see a neck, right. Let alone a chest or cleavage, you know.
Right. But it was still a beautiful photo, and you have a beautiful face. So that does help, though.
Well, I guess, but a lot of people can thank you. But I mean, you know, makeup and a good photographer can do wonders for a lot of people.
That is true.
You know,
that is true. But yeah, I mean, but again, the standards changed, and sex appeal. I mean, sex appeal is always an element that people enjoy and appreciate, but it was just how you presented it back then that makes it different from today. Yeah. So, but that's good. That's great advice. But now we're going to have
I hope I did answer the question.
No, you did 100%. I think people got the message. Like, stand 10 toes. Don't compromise your morals, your code.
Well, There you heard that, you guys. There you heard that. Now, personally, I wish all the women would listen, especially the female rappers, but it seems like they love to be in those positions. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Rasheeda and Kick Frank. I was about to say Kick Franklin. Oh my God, Kick Frost, her husband. What the F? What the hell? What the hell, Berry? About to say Kirk Franklin. Oh my God. I'm talking about Rasheeda and her husband. Now, Rasheeda is out there making some very bold declarations. Now, one thing about Rasheeda is she's about that money, but she's letting us know that Marry Me and, and Bubblegum are out there making her a lot of money. And one thing about Rasheeda is in each and every single thing that she achieves, she will make it about the husband. That's it. In this regard, she was like, well, he told me to do this. He taught me to do that. That's Rasheeda for you. It could be sneezing. Rasheeda will sit down and tell you that my husband taught me how to sneeze. It could be farting. She will come out here and give Frank, Frank, why am I calling him Frank? Oh my God. And give the husband, credit for her farting. And I'm just like, I made this amount of being husband-centered made past me. I hope I'm not going to be like that in the future, because what is this? But anyway, let me insert what Rasheeda had to say. And yeah, some people were saying that they are a little bit exaggerative of everything that they were saying, the money that they made, the business moves and stuff like that. And some people are also saying that, well, this could be the reason why she is still holding on to the marriage, because financially they are very, very much intertwined together. So she does not want the risk of losing some things, when they separate and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't think that after I said that, I'm going to be coming back. So that being said, thank you very much, you guys, for watching, and thank you very much for making it this far. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time that I post. And until my next one, see you.
I want to do music. And he was like, I ain't gonna never forget, he said, first off, you're going to have to learn how to write all your own music. And I was like, okay, I will. Because, having a 3-girl group, we had people writing for us.
Ludacris wrote the first. Luda was writing.
Yeah, we had writers. We wasn't even writing. And I'm like, no, you're absolutely right, which is one of the best things he could have ever done.
That publishing.
Because, baby, this publishing, that's why I told you I sit at a different table, baby. But we're going to get into that.
We own.
Hand to this table the car keys, but go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about them too.
Okay.
No, but for real, one of the best things he could have ever instilled in me. You know what I mean? And he also said, hey, okay, listen, are you getting in this because you want to be famous or do you want to be wealthy?
How many billions of streams does it get, Kirk?
Marry Me is over 8 billion. So we are
Marry Me.
Marry Me is over
featuring
8
Toya
billion.
Wright.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll show you the stats. I won't just make that up. And if you're looking at the iTunes top 200 right now, any genre of music, not just rap, hip hop, any genre right now, My Bubblegum is sitting at number 40 something in the country, in the world. Right
waiting
now.
Waiting on that.
And that's our check. We own the master. So we own Marry Me. We own the master.
Y'all own so to educate my audience, y'all own the masters, which
we own
means
the publishing.
And you own the publishing.
So we're the record company, we're the writers, we're the record company, we own it, we get it all.
So all the money that gets accumulated goes into your pocket.
Absolutely.
Every last cent.
D-Lo Entertainment.
Marry Me still
it goes through like these phases where it like goes viral and then it'll simmer down and then I'll look up and then in like Asia, it's like all of these millions and like billions like of streams and stuff. Like it just constantly evolves. And that's why I always revert back to say, God is good. And yes, sometimes certain things overshadow, other things. And I don't sit there and just try to like talk about it all the time or defend it. Cause like I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. People are going to say whatever they want to say. But one thing that I can stand on is the fact that I may have never been a big, huge mainstream artist, but baby, I'm always going to eat and always gonna be good. And none of that matters when you understand the business of music.
So how much money do you think you've made so far off of this Bubblegum and Marry Me Alone? If you have to guess.
I mean, right now, the one that's on the charts is the one that you buy. Now, my streams is out of here. I mean, we do millions and billions of streams. That money is smaller.
But that money is smaller because streaming money really ain't a lot of money for artists like that. So, okay, this is what I will say. When you start getting up in those numbers in the hundreds of millions and the billions, then the math be mathing real good in streams. You know what I mean? Then you like, okay, this was 100. This was 6 figures. This was this. I mean, and it varies because, it'd be a lot.
Millions of dollars. I mean, we didn't cross that line. I mean,
off of like, Marry Me, you made millions of dollars off that song. But you have to
realize, too, Rasheeda is really the underground queen of licensing music. You know, the United States of Terror, CSI Miami,
because I have so many songs that have been on television that people don't even know about.
Hold on. Let me finish my list.
Keep running your list. Keep running your list, baby. Run that shit down.
Rasheeda's songs have been featured on movies and TV shows.
Right. So when the PSP came out, Vibrate was the only song on the PSP that shipped 1 million. We kept 10% of the publishing. We got a nice royalty from Sony. And then Vibrate's been on many shows, but I left out Bobby Shop, Beauty Shop, The Fog,
Lincoln Heights, United States of Terror.
So while everybody
Robin Big, The Fabulous Life of all these different shows like MTV Cribs, all kinds of stuff.
Is Kirk and Rasheeda the wealthiest people to come out of Love and Hip Hop?
This is what I will say. I can't count nobody pocket. Okay, but what I will say is, if I don't want to do nothing, I could not do nothing. If I wanted to say, you know what, fuck everything, I don't want to do nothing,
you'll be set for life.
I'm good.
If you two were to retire today and never work a day in your life, y'all will be good, and your kids will be good.
Well, let me say this. At this point in time, 2 of my kids' house is paid for.
Yeah.
So you already, we have 10 properties. Well, we about to have 11. I'm about to buy
11.
Florida.
Let's talk about this 11.
Yeah. So we got 10 properties. You know, we got 3 commercials.
And you got to come to Bahamas.
We got no mortgages. So
I was literally going to the Bahamas 2 weeks ago.
We got a
house there. You can stay there. I'll have my property manager come open it for you.
It's over $1 million and change.
I want to do